Hello everyone, how's it going? Elliot here again. In today's video, we're going to be having a look at two very broken Game Boy Pockets. One of them is going to have a little bit of retro brightening done to it, and the other one is going to need a coat of spray paint. Both of them need their screens replaced, and one of them is in a lot worse state than the other in terms of corrosion. But I thought it'd be a little bit of fun to talk about what you're likely to find if you try and get a cheap Game Boy on eBay. So both of these I bought from Japan. This one just cost me under £20, more to about £18 or something like that. And then this one was £1.70 with like £4 shipping. And you can see there that the screen is completely black. And then in the inside, there's a hell of a lot of corrosion going on. This one, however, looks a little bit better. So hopefully at least we're gonna get one working one out of this and a nice shell once we've spray painted this one. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and take them apart. Before we take them apart, let's see if we get any life from any of them. So I'll go ahead and pop the batteries in this one. I don't believe this one works, so we're going to have to take a look at that. And no, nothing is happening at all. Oh, although if I wiggle the battery contacts, I can actually see in the corner that the contrast is actually changing. Let's just turn the volume all the way up to the top, pop a game in there. So there we go, it does actually work. However, the screen is just so burnt that we can't see anything on it. It needs the battery contacts cleaned, hence why it didn't work first time, and I had to kind of roll the batteries around in the back. But that's not too bad. This one I think is going to come out quite nicely. There's a few scratches on it, but it's not too bad, and the lens is in pretty decent condition. For those of you who've seen refurbishing videos on those DMG style pockets before, you'll know that you don't want to be replacing the lenses because they get quite expensive and then becomes not really worth it. I'm not very hopeful at all about this one because the corrosion on here is so bad, but we'll do it for the sake of the video and just test if we get anything. No, absolutely zilch. So let's start then by taking them both apart and seeing what we have inside. Right, so we've disassembled everything. It wasn't too difficult to do. I wasn't surprised really by what I saw inside. These two screens definitely need some work. So that's something I'm probably going to get to begin with right away. Whilst I do that, I'm going to chuck the all of the components here into the ultrasonic cleaner. So all of the buttons and stuff have come out with, you know, bits of corrosion on the bottom and some dust and dirt inside underneath the rubber, which is never too pretty. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but yeah, yucky stuff. This shell has lost all of its paint, so it's going to be quite fun to completely refurbish and clean that. Obviously the inside is really grimy at the moment, but once we get refurbishing on it, it's going to look amazing. I'm super excited for that. The sticker, you can see once I take the sticker off, because that is long gone there. No one can judge me for taking that off. But you can see underneath the sticker is the original color gold, which initially was what the whole thing was. coloured as. So I'm going to do a really cool custom spray paint job on this, so that's going to be quite fun. I'm going to talk through the spray paint job a little bit more as well, because some of the other ones I didn't, and now I'm a little bit more used to them. So this is all the metal stuff that I've taken out of the Game Boys, and you can see there the extent of the rust and corrosion on the metal parts there. So that's all going to go into the supersonic, ultrasonic cleaner as well, with the corrosion liquid as well. So, and then the boards, one of them looks absolutely fine. It's going to need a little bit of a clean. That was come out of the DMG style pocket. It's going to need a clean, but no more than that. And then this one, unfortunately, is not looking good at all. Unfortunately, the corrosion has gone all over the board. It's not going to be salvageable. I'm pretty certain the contacts have all been lifted beyond feasible repair. But we'll give it a clean anyway. We'll see what it looks like, and we'll give it a try. If not, I'm just going to stick another board in there. So, without any further ado, let's get going. Right, it's been a good 3 or 4 hours since the last clip. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I've been trying to get clips as and when I can. Unfortunately, the other screen that came on the gold GameBoy Pocket is completely gone beyond feasible use. I tried my very best to use it, but unfortunately it is gone. So that being said, I'm going to continue on with this DMG shell. It's a bit unfortunate about the other one, although I'll definitely use that shell in one of my future builds. I've got a bunch of GameBoy Pockets coming down, so it will actually be quite useful in one of those builds. So I've had to replace the front polarizer on this screen because obviously it was completely burnt out, and yeah, I've managed to get all of the old burnt polarizer off. I don't know if this screen still works. So the shell came out looking rather good, it always does. The hydrogen peroxide mixed with a UV nail lamp always comes out looking excellent. So let's go ahead and really quickly assemble this back together. I'm super happy so far with the ultrasonic cleaner. It's made everything a lot easier because you can kind of just chuck all of those in the ultrasonic cleaner, then focus on the board or whatever else needs to have a little bit of attention. And then in the background, all of the screws and the contacts and the buttons, they're all getting scrubbed away in the background by the ultrasonic cleaner. So you can kind of just crack on with all the other bits that you need to do with a Game Boy. So I should point out that all of the screws out of all of these Game Boys that I had were completely rusty, and I think part of the reason why that happened was due to the corrosion. Now, I've put them through the ultrasonic cleaner, and you might be able to see that they've all come out looking a lot newer, but they're all like black, and I'm sure that's probably a reaction to the corrosion liquid that it comes with. But for those of you who might actually know what that is, then let me know, because I'm not sure why these screws are black, but they're now rust free, so it's kind of a bit of a tie, I guess. You can have black screws, but rust free. Okay, and we'll just pop the back on there just to test the screen and see if the screen actually still works. And moment of truth. Okay, there we go. We have actually got ourselves a working screen. Excellent. Right, so I've fully assembled the DMG style one again, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I will need to get a replacement sticker for the back. I kept the serial number on there though, which is nice. Brilliant. Everything works absolutely perfect with that. Okay, and there we go. So the Game Boy here on the left-hand side, the DMG style Game Boy Pocket, that turned out rather excellently. Everything works really well on it. You can see there, it turns on with no problems. The battery contacts are now all cleaned, so they work super great. The buttons all have a great response. There's no lines on the screen, although there are a couple of faint lines, but that's kind of what you get with old Game Boy Pockets, especially ones that you've had to replace any sort of polarizer film on. So other than that, you know, it's doing rather well. I think it's turned out looking excellently. I will need to get a little sticker for the back, but other than that, it is pretty goddamn good. I'm super happy with that. So there's the DMG style one. Over here, we have what's left of the gold one. So I did give this a coat of a really nice blue spray paint and put a new screen lens in there. So you would have seen in the spray painting scene that I did a little bit of sanding with some 600 grit wet and dry sandpaper. That was a tip from a guy who watches the videos called Rob. Thank you very much, Rob. And then I covered it with two light coats of primer. Now, you don't want to go too thick with any of the coats of paint on here, because things like the Nintendo logo, the on and off switch, and the little speaker grill, all of that will fill up quite quickly with paint. So you need to be really careful with that. But it's turned out looking really good. The inside is obviously still the raw color of the plastic. And so there you go, you can see that it's not a different Game Boy, although hopefully by now you'll take my word for it. All of the buttons cleaned up absolutely very nicely. And yeah, it's just waiting for a board and a screen. It was very unfortunate that the screen and the board weren't able to work. But as a conclusion to this video, I guess that's a little bit of a lesson for spending money on Game Boy Pockets from Japan. If you're going to buy one, I'd recommend spending the extra couple of pounds and getting one with no corrosion, even if it has a burnt screen. If you're looking for one with a burnt screen because you want to give it a go replacing the polarizer film, don't get one as black as this one, because when I took off the screen of this, the front and back polarizer screen were burnt. So you need to be really careful. But hopefully you have all enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We're very close to 100,000 subscribers, which is crazy exciting. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.